Good evening, and thank you for joining us virtually in celebration of the class of 2020. So many aspects of our lives right now are different as our local, national, and global communities experience an unprecedented health crisis. While we are certainly living, working, and doing school in different ways, it's important that we hold on to traditions like commencement, even if it looks and feels different this year, because we're in the middle of a global pandemic, but also because the class of 2020 is receiving commencement messages from famous actors, musicians, athletes, and even the former president of the United States. Deep down, though, I know you're most excited about hearing from your favorite principal, your only principal. I'm Nell Ballard-Jones, and I'd like to extend a warm welcome to the family, friends, teachers, and loved ones who have supported this year's graduates on their journey to this day. The years of encouragement and love and the occasional or frequent nagging, haranguing, and reminding have paid off. We're gathered in this virtual environment to celebrate. First up, we have messages from Dr. Jane Stavem, Superintendent of the Lake Washington School District, and members of the Lake Washington School Board.
Hi, I'm Jane Stavem, Superintendent of Lake Washington School District, and I want to congratulate the graduates of 2020 on your successful completion of high school. Normally, when we have graduation, we have a very grandiose ceremony. It's a time when we all come together to commemorate this milestone of graduation. But as you're aware, we're not able to do that this year, and we are sad about that. It represents a rite of passage and a time in your life that you've been anticipating for many, many years. But even though we aren't going to be able to celebrate with a graduation ceremony this year, I don't want that to diminish your sense of accomplishment in any way, because graduation represents more than just the senior year of high school. It represents your entire career in school and all of the many accomplishments that you've had in and out of the classroom. It's a time when you look back and recognize all of those challenges that you faced and overcame. It's a time when we recognize all of the academic pursuits that you have been dreaming about furthering now as you go from high school on to the next part of your lives. It's also a time of celebrating with your friends, and I'm hoping that you have found ways to do that with your friends and family, because this is still a very, very special time. So I just want to extend my personal congratulations, and I'm sorry that I won't get to shake each of your hands as you walk across the stage. But please consider this my heartfelt congratulations and wishes for you as you now leave Lake Washington School District and move forward into a very, very bright future. Congratulations to all of you.
We have the distinct honor and privilege to welcome you to the Lake Washington School District's first ever virtual graduation ceremony for the class of 2020. And to the graduates, the Board of Directors of Lake Washington want to congratulate you on this exciting accomplishment of graduation. This is quite the milestone, especially at this time. It's a proud moment for all of us, but most especially for you and your families, as this has spanned over 12 years of education.
As the class of 2020, you've accomplished what no other class has in the last century. You made it over the finish line during a pandemic that closed your schools and shifted learning to the virtual world.
You displayed flexibility as you managed a new way of learning and perseverance as you finished core classes to earn your high school diploma. No curriculum could have taught you the lesson you learned this year, adapting and overcoming life's unexpected turns.
Although we are not able to honor each of you in person, we recognize the dedication, perseverance, and sheer power of will it took for each of you to earn your diploma and walk across this virtual stage.
You will write the next chapter in your life, taking with you many years of education, determination, and endurance. You will shape your future and no doubt the future of others. Congratulations on your many impressive accomplishments, class of 2020.
There's a poster in my office with the picture of American civil rights activist Rosa Parks. The caption on that poster reads, "The decisions you make in life ultimately determine your destiny." Although there are many things in life that we cannot control, each of us has the power to make our lives and the world better by how we choose to live. Each of this year's graduates made a series of choices that led them to tonight's celebration. For some, the journey to earning this diploma was tumultuous, and there may have been some wrong turns along the way. For others, the trip was smooth and pretty uneventful. Until, of course, mid-March, when the world got very bumpy for all of us. Whatever the journey looked like to this day, each of the members of the class of 2020 made the choice to do the necessary work to successfully complete their high school graduation requirements. The class of 2020 chose to be successful. The average person makes more than 200 decisions a day based on eating alone. What do I want to eat? Where do I want to eat? What time? How much? Where? And on and on. Think about the scope of decisions you make in a day, a year, a lifetime. Some conscious, like meeting graduation requirements. Some unconscious, like putting on your socks when you got dressed this morning. I do hope you got dressed this morning. It's graduation, of course. You're graduating at a time when the world looks and feels different than ever has before. And although many of us are sad about the loss of what this day would have been or could have been, please remember that there is so much to be optimistic for. It's okay to grieve the loss of an experience you expected, wanted, but didn't get. It's important that you recognize all of the power you have within you. You certainly cannot single-handedly stop a global pandemic, but you absolutely have the power to control how you respond. The decisions that you make now about the things, people, and places that are most important to you can inform and influence a more meaningful life and a better world. Think about what you want for your future. What choices do you need to make to get there? Your potential is limitless. You are stronger than you ever imagined, and endless opportunities await. Use your power, your choices, to determine your destiny. Next up, please welcome Habiba Youssef, who's a senior class speaker.
Assalamu alaikum, a Muslim greeting which means peace and blessings upon you all, a greeting that is much needed while we get through this pandemic. Hello, and welcome to the first virtual commencement ceremony for the class of 2020. I know, it's crazy. Who would have thought that we would be graduating through a video? But without that, we wouldn't have memorable stories to tell 20 years from now. Also, let's be real. Getting ready every day is a daunting task. Those few months were a well-deserved break. As much as I was looking forward to graduating with my fellow classmates on this day, I'm extremely grateful for all the lifelong memories and experiences we've shared with one another and all the obstacles we've overcome over the last few years. Before I get started, I want to take a moment to thank those of you who have helped us get to where we're at today, namely the teachers, parents, administrators, and of course, fellow students and friends whom we couldn't have made it here without them today. Thank you. 4 years ago, I moved to Seattle from Houston, Texas. Although I was super excited about leaving middle school behind, I was a bit apprehensive about starting high school, yet alone in a state where I barely knew anyone. I remember walking through the school doors on the first day of high school. Ms. Pratt's class was the first class for the day. I walked in and was greeted with a very warm welcome and was paired with Skylar so she could show me around the school. Skylar, one of my best friends that I made in high school, is a representation for the rest of the class. A class filled with welcoming individuals that all contributed to making Emerson a memorable place. From our lab experiments and dissections, to our long rants and lunch, almost getting lost on We Day, or our presentations that we would sometimes prepare a night in advance. Sorry, Mrs. Pratt and Mrs. Pence. They all have a special place in our hearts. Being at Emerson has helped me break the stereotype that all teens are lazy and unproductive. I was surrounded by motivated, hardworking, compassionate, highly talented and determined individuals. Especially the ASB. They always had a new project or event happening in the school. With Emerson being a part-time school, we've learned that by organizing our time, we'll be able to accomplish anything we put our head to. Whether it's competing in the Olympics, running your own business, or traveling the world, you can do anything and everything you put your head to. As a class, I know the past 4 years might have been a challenge, but we're here today for a reason. We're here because our goals and dreams have pushed us to accomplish everything we've accomplished till this day. And we'll keep moving forward. Look around you. Every single person watching this sees something in you and believes that you will accomplish great things in your life. It doesn't matter what your plan is as long as you have one. Over the next few years, you may end up at a college or university. You may begin working full-time or even start a family. All pave the road to success. The road to success isn't easy, but we must remember that we can succeed. We try, we might fail, but we get up and try again. We can get there with the dedication, determination, focus, and time management we learned here at Emerson. No matter what path you take, you will be the best that you can be. Not only am I excited to see what lies ahead, but I know that the people sitting here today and the people that support you feel the same way. Class of 2020. They believe in us. Let's make them proud. We will push boundaries to make this world a better place in ways big and small. Congratulations, class of 2020.
It's the time you've all been waiting for, the presentation of diplomas. For those of you who have never attended one of our graduations, each of our graduates has selected one staff member to speak on their behalf.
Hello, everyone. Thank you to Trey Bunda, graduate of 2020, for the honor of speaking at your graduation. My name is Elaine Falangus, and I have been Trey's ceramics teacher for several years. Traditionally, Emerson K-12 holds its intimate graduation ceremony in our commons. Our school is an alternative school, therefore our relatively small community looks and feels like family. This year, due to the pandemic, our setting has changed. Oprah said, "There may not be pomp because of our circumstances, but if we can find peace in stepping into the unknown, we can find new answers, new solutions, and we can create a new normal." In my work, I try to inspire my students to be themselves, to be their kindest self, to communicate with courtesy and friendship, to be their true creative self. To discover this, it takes time, it takes work, it takes discipline and patience. It is a thoughtful process of self-examination, courage, and honesty. Trey Bunda demonstrated this in my class each day. I will remember Trey for his enthusiasm for ceramic art and his desire to push the boundaries of our art curriculum. I quickly learned that Trey wanted to challenge himself with uncommon form, new skills, and complex strategies. His process included translation of intricate concepts to clay, a blend of new technical and architectural components, and execution of fine details. He has demonstrated proficiency in ceramic technique, visual thinking, and creative problem solving. He wasn't all intellect and seriousness. He also had a humorous side. Sometimes I wasn't sure if he was joking, but one look at his face and you could see his subtle smile and the squint in his eye. Last year, Trey told me he was interested in pursuing a career as a nurse and ultimately a nurse anesthetist. As one might speculate, this profession requires compassion during the most vulnerable and emotional times of a person's life. I saw Trey demonstrate that compassion with his classmates and his friendships. I saw him welcome the new student with warm conversations and laughter to allay their anxiety. He expressed understanding and camaraderie when students were having challenging days. Trey has also learned of compassion from understanding himself. He has developed relationships with many other staff members, all of which hold him in high esteem. I also discovered from this particular career choice that Trey had a scientific side. His appreciation for math and science will allow him to help people in an immediate and tangible way. Trey, I want to say to you, no, there is no graduation ceremony this year. There is no prom this year. There may not be the graduation parties that you imagined. What you do have is the person that you have become. You do have the man that you have grown into. You do have the friends and family that will always be there for you. Do not let this pandemic, these losses, no matter how big, do not let them change you, but instead let these things reveal who you are. Congratulations, Trey. You are a graduate of 2020.
Skylar's senior quote seems to fit with our crazy times. Normal is an illusion. What is normal for the spider is chaos for the fly. Charles Adams. This symbolizes that no matter what you are going through, you are handling it differently than anybody else ever could. You cannot judge somebody's journey because you will never know what they are dealing with. Somebody else's chaos could be your normal. Never judge, and always love the people who are going through hard times. I met Skylar when she started attending Emerson K-12 in November 2013 for 6th grade. Her transition from being homeschooled to attending Emerson K-12 was quite fun, thanks to Skylar finding her positive role in our unique community. Parents, teachers, students working together. Who knew we were so progressive? Skylar has been active in school and was ASB president during her sophomore year. Junior year at Emerson K-12, we watched Skylar switch to full-time running start at Lake Washington Technical College, where she has studied business and worked to earn her associate's degree simultaneously with her high school graduation. Throughout her middle and high school years, Skylar has had a passion for music. She started performing around King County during her freshman year and has continued to host open mics in Kirkland and Redmond during high school years. Skylar loves her community and encourages her friends and family to engage in music and confidently perform on stage. Rock on. Over the summers, Skylar interned at a music academy and learned what it meant to be a music teacher. She also worked at a gelato shop and shares her love of food with friends and family. After finishing high school, Skylar is getting her bachelor's degree in business at Western Washington University, where she plans to live on campus and work part-time. Skylar believes that no matter what grade or age you are, you still have the power to make an impact on things that matter to you. The only chances you regret are the ones you didn't take.
Courageous, kind, funny. Those are the adjectives I would use to describe Marcus. From the first day I met Marcus in my yearbook leadership class, he offered a friendly hello and a kind smile. He could be having a bad day, and no one would know. He wore a smile on his face consistently. I often watched him interact with his peers with kind words and friendly deeds. He would lend an ear when a friend was in crisis or share his food when friends had none. My favorite thing about his kindness was the positive relationship he shared with his sister Lois. Upon meeting them, I believed they were twins, so similar in features and such kind personalities. It is always a true testament to one's caring personality when you observe siblings getting along as friends and confidants. It always made me smile that they could be in a class together and treat each other with respect. Marcus also had a funny side. He is always there to crack a joke or make someone smile when they are down. Although Marcus likes to do everything at the last minute, he always comes through in the end, making his best effort to complete his work and meet deadlines. He is courageous, as I watched him explore things that weren't always in his comfort zone. For example, the DigiPen Music and Sound program, running START, and just recently, Fire and EMS at Wannock, all while achieving the appropriate credits for a high school diploma. This takes courage and perseverance. I am confident that Marcus will be a successful adult working in the career he chooses. As I know, whatever it is he does, he will be amazing and prosperous. I am honored that I had the opportunity to speak about Marcus. Good luck and dream big.
When I first realized this graduating class would not have an in-person ceremony, I was sad because it's such an important rite of passage into adulthood. But to borrow one of Principal Nell's favorite terms, it is what it is, and we're doing what we can to make it a special occasion. And the more I thought about it, I thought, you guys have the most unique graduation of anyone. You will be able to tell people down the road, oh yeah, I was a COVID senior, because they'll know exactly what you're talking about. And you will be able to brag that you had such dignitaries as Oprah, LeBron James, and President Obama speaking to your graduating class. I have the honor to speak for Liam. I've known Liam for 5 years now. He started with us as an 8th grader. And I believe we bonded over his broken nose. Just an accident out in the playground. But as I was trying to comfort Liam, I remember telling him, oh, down the road, this will be great. It'll give your face character. Well, this is not a student who needs extra character. He has plenty to share. He is thoughtful. He is intelligent. He is kind. He has a heart as big as they come. And he also has a lot of character. As an 8th grader, I graded many essays written by Liam, and his talents as a writer are amazing. He is organized, he can support an essay, his editing is great, but he had one small flaw. He liked to throw in a lot of snarky little comments. Spent a lot of red ink writing on his essays. Please less snark, Liam. Which was hard because I was also laughing as I was writing this, because his snarkiness also gave his papers great humor. I'm delighted to know that Liam is hoping to go into journalism, where perhaps a little snarkiness in your writing might come in handy. Liam, I know we're not supposed to have favorites, but I will remember you as one of my students for many, many years. We had a lot of good times together. I have a lot of hope for you as a young adult, and I feel comforted knowing in these times of great uncertainty that young adults like you and the other seniors here will be running our country. I hope you guys do a little bit better job than we did. Thank you.
It is my pleasure to share with you about Habiba. Habiba is one of the most warm and caring people you will meet. She makes people feel at ease and valued around her. I recently read a poem by Youth Poet Laureate Amanda Gorman. This short excerpt reminded me of Habiba. Amanda writes, "While we might feel small, separate, and all alone, our people have never been more closely tethered. The question isn't if we will weather this unknown, but how we will weather this unknown together." Habiba has a sense, beyond her years, of how important community like this really is. She knows that it is our responsibility and privilege to serve others. She has volunteered for many different organizations and prioritizes service in her life. In 10th grade, Mrs. Pratt and I assigned a project that connected biology and social studies, where the students were supposed to find a way to make a difference. Habiba went running with this idea. She invited Syrian refugees in the community for a dinner, and more than 100 people showed up. She worked with other community members to provide transportation to and from the event and purchased and prepared food for them all. She provided a few games and gifts that were given out at the end of the evening. Mrs. Pratt and I were amazed when she shared this with the whole class. Habiba knows that refugees are not the only ones who deserve justice and a helping hand. She plans to incorporate this service into her future. In the fall, she will attend the University of Washington, double majoring in law, society and justice, and psychology, with a minor in political science. I'm excited to see how she carries her passion for service to these areas of study. These degrees will allow her to make a much bigger impact in the areas for which she cares so much. Congratulations, Habiba, on your graduation, and we wish you all the best.
Congratulations to the class of 2020.